Failing to cooperate in your SSDI claim. It's a bonehead move. It's an idiotic move. Yeah, I said it, and here's why. And I'm telling you now so you don't treat your claim like a Bugs Bunny cartoon and blow it up to smithereens. There are two types of failure to cooperate claims in the SSA disability verse. The first one is not complying with an initial request for evidence or action. The second one is not complying with an initial request to attend the consultative exam or CE. In this video, we're going to cover the first one, which is not complying to a request for evidence or action. An initial request to provide evidence or action is simply anything that the DDS examiner asks you to provide him or her directly. One of the things I always tell people in the SSDI claims is to be cooperative. It's the 6th disability commandment. Help your examiner help you. When you help your examiner, you're helping yourself. But when you don't cooperate with your examiner, not only are you making things difficult for your examiner, but you're shooting your own self in the foot. Because since you're trying to get SSDI, you're going to have to play ball. In either failure to cooperate situation, the examiner must show reasonable effort to try to get in touch with you before he or she can close the case based on failure to cooperate and deny you SSDI for insufficient evidence. Now, there have been a lot of changes over the years on this whole failure to cooperate situation and how the examiner is supposed to get in contact with you to try to get you to comply. But these are what the rules are now when it comes to Social Security policy. Let's say the examiner tried to get in touch with you by mail, which is the typical way, and 10 days go by without even a peep from you. The examiner is now required to only try to follow up with you one time and one time only. Back in the day, it was 2 attempts with 2 phone calls at 2 different times of the day, but those days are gone. Now, when they get in contact with you on that one time and one time only, they have a choice of either being able to do it by phone or by mailing out another letter. So follow me closely. The first option is to contact you by phone one time. Now, that phone call can either be to you, your appointed rep like an attorney or an advocate, your third party, or it could be a proper applicant who is someone who helps you out if you're unable to fill out forms or speak for yourself. Now, if the examiner reaches you, here's the bottom line. They will try to get what they need from you over the phone, or they can give you 10 extra days to reply with the information or evidence that they're needing. If the examiner doesn't reach you, well, they are required to leave a message, either by voicemail or leaving a message with another adult who answers the phone call. And the examiner has to provide these items: their contact information, the date they called, what evidence or action they need from you, and a 10-day deadline to provide it. If they can't speak to you or leave a message, then they're going to send a letter with those same items. They're required to contact you one time by mailing out a letter. Here's the second option of contact. They can contact you by mailing out a letter. Now, the letter must have these items on it: the examiner's contact information, like their phone number, a request to provide the evidence or action that they are needing for your claim, how you can provide that info. It could be mail, it could be fax, or it could be a phone call, and another 10-day window to provide the information. Now, I bet you're wondering, well, what if I need more time to reply? Great question. All you have to do is ask the examiner for more time. Now, there are some examiners who are a little generous and they may give you more than 10 days, but by rule, they're probably going to lean more closer to that 10-day window because they've got other cases to work on. And here's the other wrinkle to it. You need to have a good reason why you need more time. Maybe you have a personal illness because you weren't able to do what you needed to do for them because you were not feeling well, or maybe you had a death in the family, or maybe a serious illness in your family that needed your attention, or something else beyond your control that prevented you from being able to provide that information. or take that action. Being on vacation does not count as a good cause. And I used to get people who used to try that one. Here's another good reason to not comply. You may have some limitation, like a physical limitation, a mental limitation, a verbal limitation, or even an educational limitation, such as not being able to speak English. In those cases, what is required is called special handling. Special handling is saying that since we can't speak to you and there may be some issue that's preventing you from being able to take care of this business, we're going to contact your third party and have this third party help you move this thing forward in your claim. And also, the examiner is required to give the third party reasonable effort. So in most cases, the examiner is going to give that third party the same 10-day window and some of the other things that they would be giving you. Now, I know there's going to be some people out there, some trolls or whoever else is trying to tell me to go back someplace that I've never been. But they may be asking this question, well, what if I don't reply? You really don't need to ask that question, because Social Security is going to tell you what's going to happen with that letter in the mail, or even on the phone call message that they're going to leave you. But I'm going to tell you right here and right now exactly what they're going to say. It's the standard warning. If you don't provide the information, the examiner will make a determination based on the evidence in your file, which means that the examiner may find you to be not disabled. Failure to cooperate is nothing to play with. If the examiner asks you to provide some extra evidence or take some action on the claim, such as sending in a form, and you decide that you're going to blow off the examiner, my advice to you, you better don't. Help yourself and help the examiner to help you in your SSDI claim, because you're the one applying for SSDI. And if you want those benefits, like I said, you're going to have to play ball. But there is another piece to this failure to cooperate picture that I'm talking about. And the other piece is when a person fails to comply to an initial request to attend the consultative exam. And that video is part 2. But if you're wondering what a CE is, well, I got a video that breaks it all down for you. All you got to do is click on the link up here, and it'll take you right to that video on what a consultative examination is. I'll see you on the other side in the next video.